A minute's silence there for Harold Patterson, a legend of the Devonport Strikers and indeed Tasmanian football. Welcome back to our coverage here of Football Tasmania of Summer Cup Finals Day at Lightwood Park. Game number 2 here. It's the defending WSL champions, South Hobart, up against the finals, #NotFinals series victors of last year, the Devonport Strikers. They were the top 2 teams in 2023. We're expecting them both to be very strong again in 2024, and an early chance for silverware here for both these sides they'll be keen to take advantage of, as well as perhaps scoring an early psychological blow. They'll be the 2 favourites when the Super League season gets underway. A 3-team commentary, 3-man commentary team for this second game here. Joining me, we've got Luca Forrest in the first game, and also making his first appearance for the season, Alex Murray. Alex, welcome and welcome back. And what are you expecting from today's clash here?
Great to be here, Andy. Just a lot of optimism around the season for me. I'm pretty excited about this game. Two, as you say, 2 really good teams, but with a lot of change, and I think that is, for watchers of Tasmanian football, always the best thing about the Summer Cup is getting a little peek into what the teams might look like. But I think for both sides it is also a chance for silverware. Maybe, depends on coach's sort of mindset about, is it that important? I think any opportunity to put a bit of silverware on the resume will not go astray. So I think both teams should be motivated for this one. And as I said, very excited for this one and the season in general. Really keen to watch this game.
Yeah, spoke with both coaches yesterday, and they're both keen to get the victory here. Alistair Russell very much saying he's of the mind that, like most of the players are, group stage games, minutes in the legs, it's pre-season, it's practice. When you get to a cup final and there's a trophy on the line, suddenly it becomes a little bit more about winning, and I think we'll see that today. These 2 teams formed a healthy rivalry last season, some fantastic clashes. Any time these 2 teams met in 2023, we were treated to a wonderful game of football. Expecting that again here today. So we're just about ready to kick off. It's already ticked over 30 degrees on the mercury here. It's going to be an absolute scorcher. We'll have a drinks break midway through the half. We're underway in the Summer Cup final. As Lucy Foot rolls it back there to Georgia King. A couple of experienced heads in this Devonport side. Real strength they provide down the middle. Watkins, who's a new arrival, Sammy Watkins to South Hobart, Lord across from Kingborough. Lucy Roberts, for mine, just about the player of the season last year. She was spectacular in that South Hobart midfield. Here's Hannah Johnson will be at the back today, and as you mentioned, Alex, they've got some work to do at the back, South Hobart, some personnel changes as they look to switch things up a little this year.
Yeah, as we see Bridget Wright, one of the mainstays of last season, she's returned, but that is, probably the main area where they have changed. I know loss of Eve Swain, who plays in the 10 position as well, but they've really rejigged well with some good recruiting with Graciela Baez, number 13 for South Hobart, coming across from Clarence. And also a bit of depth from Kingborough generally, but also Sammy Watkins, one of the most enjoyable players to watch last season. And I think just one of those times where you think, I wonder if the top team are going to be challenged, like in terms of recruitment. It looks like they've done very well to recruit a lot of depth and a lot of good talent too. So
Foot looking to get things going. Yeah, it was the Gracie Yellow Buyers sweepstakes, I imagine it was. All the southern teams looking to snavel up those Clarence Everest players, and the Rising Star, I reckon, would have been at the top of everyone's shopping list. South Hobart able to lure her across, and really almost like-for-like replacement for Eve Swain in that 10 role. Yeah. Bridie Cooling at the back's going to take some replacement. Jenna Farrow playing today, but I'm informed won't be here for the Super League season, so we'll likely see Casey Ponting in net throughout the league campaign, I believe.
Interesting kind of decision, I'd say. We were talking about that just pre-game as South Hobart go down the wing here. Whether that is if you're not sticking with your keeper through the pre-season tournament and they're not going to be there for the season, it's an interesting decision, but also, I guess, an opportunity to complete a treble of sorts for South Hobart. So, you may as well stick with the players who've been there as well. So,
yeah, look, I think when you've got the best keeper in the state available, it's a simple selection for Ali Russell. It's perhaps an opening here for Rollington, who really impressed last year as one of the breakout players of the Super League season. Certainly be a real goal threat.
Yeah. As you were remarking on Lucy Roberts before, I think that matchup kind of looks like Lucy Foot's sort of drifting into that 10 as she's running towards it now. I think that will be the key matchup in that midfield area. Really experienced player for a number of years, with Ulverston as well, with that juggernaut of a side a few years ago.
So they will attack here through an overlapping right down the right-hand side. Her cross won't quite find Ollington. As Michaela Mitchell comes across to collect and quickly moves it out there to Georgia King, the captain of the side. But Devonport have got some figuring out to do themselves. One enormous name missing from the team sheet today, and indeed this season will be Jasmine White, who was just the most consistent goal scorer in the state for years now. Just scored for fun last year. She won't be available this season. She's having a child, so probably the biggest challenge, I reckon, for Tom Ballantyne. How do you replace that many goals in a side?
Yeah, and just the pace that she has in behind is just something that not a lot of teams, if any teams, have at all in the WSL. It's a good clearance away by King. Foot's pressing right now, but I think, it looks like Sims is in there today for the number 9, and they've got a similar type build to White, so maybe they will kind of stick with that system of having the quick players in behind.
Great work from Abby White through the middle here, and she slides it through looking to spring Maddie Payne. Farrow out, deflects off of Payne and spills awkwardly. It was a dangerous moment. You can see the strikers through foot on the attack here. That's a nice ball too for Gemma Matthews, but the offside flag has been raised. Tom Ballantyne was keen to emphasise a possession style of game is what he's been really working on in the pre-season, trying to implement here. Georgia King also spoke about that, said there's going to be a big stylistic change. So I think when you've got Jasmine White, the temptation is all from there. Just chip it over the top. She's not going to lose the sprint race. Without that, we do need to find some new avenues.
Yeah.
We're going to see that with a more patient style kind of passing game from Devonport this year. At least that's what they're saying.
And they've always had the quality in the midfield. I mean, King's looks like she's playing centre-back at the moment, but she's always been in there quite well. Abby White and Sam Hardy here, who's getting on the ball now. They do have the cattle in the middle of the park to kind of be able to control that game, and I think that they look like they're taking it to South Hobart thus far, which is a good sign for the game, and I guess looking forward in the season as well.
Interesting to see Pishon Choi lined up here on the right wing for South Hobart Sue. She's a very versatile player. So a number of us, that's a dicey back pass. That invites all sorts of danger. Farrow comes down and saves the day, bailing a defender out there. It was a poor back pass.
Okay, you make me look a fool to question that decision with that
That's
sort of
why
confidence
you
off the line. Yeah, just absolutely whip it like off the line there.
With strength and the foul blown. And their way is Lucy Foote and Sam Hardy in that midfield brigade. You won't come across a tougher midfield duo than that, I don't reckon.
Yeah, they are a physical team, I guess, like their men's side as well. They have the skill, but they also play with that edge as well, which I think if you can combine the two, it is very hard to beat. And so, that's got those presence like King, who's on the ball here, and Hardy and White.
So King,
she's going for it.
Shy from range, comfortable collect for Farrow, but Georgia King, well known for a dead ball prowess, has scored many a free kick from 20, 30 yards out down the ears, and just testing out Farrow early. But there are none better in the air than Jenna Farrow. As Foot nods that one forward, trying to spring Sims again. Nicely dealt with at the back by Hannah Johnson. Lucy Roberts. Now Watkins cutting through the middle. Runs into a little bit of trouble though. Foot breaking that up away. Westwood trying to spring Choi. Matthews now lofting it over the top. Maddie Payne will give chase. They got 2-on-1 here. Payne gets there first. Maddie Payne, she's got player in the middle unmarked. Couldn't quite find her.
Yeah, made the right decision, but not enough pace on it, and really well tracked off by the South Hobart defence actually to cut that ball. It had to come high in the end, and that just a low margin of error really when you're going that fast and having to drag it back, and it's a bit of a physical challenge. It goes through the back of Pishon Choi.
Jimmy Matthews there. A talk from the strikers bench from Tom Ballantyne. Lucy Roberts offering short. Midfield metronome, kind of known for doing that. She's a real heartbeat of the South Hobart engine room. Just gets in, drops in those deep positions, starts the moves.
Another thought I kind of had rocking up today was just thinking about I was like, oh yeah, South Hobart, they haven't, it's just a steam train that will keep going with these recruits. But with any team, you do have to bed in and find that chemistry. And I think just to start, it's just a little bit off for them at the moment. Maybe that's a little bit with like Troy being in a new position and Watkins kind of floating inside. She's going to look to get out. It all goes through the back into Ollington.
As Browning looks to charge in behind here, but well shielded by Emmett and sees it behind.
Yeah, it's still with Byers coming in as well, and it looks like she's taking up a kind of midfield position. That does change things up, so I think Devonport will take confidence from that as press Roberts.
Won it back and got the shot off. She is another threat from range, much in the way Lucy Foot is from midfield for Devonport. Lucy Roberts, she is spectacular from distance. Her and Fish on Choi, just the outstanding players for South Hobart last season. That brilliant season they put together. Here is Foot. Looks to spread it wide for Payne, but she played it behind her. And South Hobart looks to go towards Ollington, broken up though by Annalie Bidwell. Another who really impressed as the season wore on. She just got better and better. Annalie Bidwell. They look to build through the middle now, through Abby White. Plenty of numbers there for South, broken up by Bayers. Roberts. Now, Watkins trying to spring Ollington, sets her a bit of a task. Annalie Bidwell leading back to that one. Deals with it comfortably.
The comment on Bidwell, as you say, really, still a young player really, but has the ability to kind of step up into midfield, something I think she's always wanted to do is kind of bring that ball out, and if they're playing that more possession style, I think she'll, with sort of King at centre back as well, they'll be able to control things from the back a little bit as well. I think sometimes I would be a little bit nervy with her going on a bit of a wander, but like she is good enough to sort of maze her way through the midfield. So definitely one to watch for the season ahead, generally.
Real modern centre-back, isn't she? The classic ball playing. As that's a dicey turnover in the middle. Big chance. South Hobart Ollington didn't catch it right.
Yeah, just lean back on that one a little bit. Needed to be kind of running through there, and just that late pressure from, I think it was Bidwell in the end. He just didn't get the cleanest hit from Ollington. But probably best chance so far in South. Starting to turn the screws now. I think it was probably the first 5 minutes you think, Devonport are in the game now, but here we are again with South Hobart recycling possession and they're looking to go forward again.
Yeah, both teams are really looking to play out from the back, and both teams are aware of that, and they're sweating on it and trying to force the turnovers high up the pitch.
Yeah.
And probably the two best chances so far have come from just turnovers in dangerous areas. South again look to press up here. Emmett and Foot and go back to Mitchell. Mitchell just goes for a bit of distance up towards Foot, flicked on, but broken up by Johnson. Right with a heavy touch. Hardy. Couldn't quite find White and it fell away. Fish on Choi, punching one through. Really well defended though. Nicely done by Emmett to get a foot in. Pass just out of play.
It looks like Wright, not White. There's a few Whites and Wrights. Here is Bridget Wright. She's playing quite inverted in defence. Really tucking in, especially when the ball's over the other side. Creating a lot of congestion in that Devonport midfield, and they are struggling to play out because of that, especially with Roberts' positioning there again as well.
Combines with Byers, little drop pass, just slightly heavy fumble from the keeper, and it's going to give South Hobart the opening goal. Sunny Watkins, the new signing from Kingborough. A bit of a gift that one, but she takes full advantage. I thought Byers had just overhit the ball, but it created the fumble, and South draw first blood in the cup final.
Byers on that half turn, as she does so well, just really knocked that ball in, maybe a little bit heavy, but it was good enough that Watkins could create the pressure, and Kelly Mitchell did spill it, unfortunately. Again, maybe just write that off for pre-season, hopefully, but again, in the cup final, it's not really what you want, is going 1-0 down to ultimately a goalkeeping error, but also good play again from Byers on the turn, and Watkins. She can be a relentless pressure of the ball generally, just a very powerful runner there, so not surprising, but Devonport will have to just keep confidence if they want to be playing out and playing through them, because South is starting to clog that midfield up and create a lot of pressure.
Yeah, good signing from South Hobart, getting Sammy Watkins from down here at the Den. She's always been a player, I feel, just really needs to add a few more goals to her game. She offers so much in those wide areas, a very skillful player. If she can add a few more goals, then that could be a real difference maker for South Hobart this year. Well, this one's spilled from Matthews, not quite hacked well out of there. Emmett, we'll just let that one trickle out of play. Takes it quickly to King. Experienced customer at the back, and launches this one over the top. No one there to make the run. That's the one where last year Jasmine White would just be sprinting onto the end of it, and there weren't many centre backs who could go with it. It was such a bailout option for the strikers, and they're going to have to adapt to life without it this year.
Yeah, it always helps having a pacey striker. Even if you're not playing that style, it's like, oh, yeah, I can kick it up there, and they're going to at least make a fist of it. And it can be a really effective way of breaking pressing defences. I think you see more and more it's a very different level, but in sort of WSL in England and also Premier League, sides really just camping inside opposition halves. And sometimes I just think, maybe just camp a fast player on the kind of halfway line, so they're offside, and at least make them think about it. But again, yeah, it's just one of those things I think in football, and it is challenging for coaches generally. It's just adapting to that change of squad that happens every year, and I think sometimes it can sort of swing your way. And obviously, there's a kind of an art and a science to recruitment, but I think sometimes it can just be players where they're studying, for example. I think that's the typical of WSL at least, or how they're feeling with playing time, or a club not entering a team, for example. It can really just shake things up.
Well, it certainly shook up the off-season. The Zebras' withdrawal meant there was suddenly about a dozen Super League-ready players up for grabs for the southern teams, and they've got to divvy them up. The Lions, Knights, South Hobart, Taroona might have got one or two, I'm not too sure, I think. South Hobart and Kingborough, they got the bulk of them. Knights got a couple back who they'd lost initially to Zebras the year before. And of course, they're stepping up into the Super League this year, the Northie Knights. Gave a good account of themselves against South Hobart in the group stage. 4-3s. Pretty blatant foul there on King.
I thought the ref wasn't going to call that.
Bridget Wright knew she'd fouled, and they thought for a half second there, have I actually gotten away with this? Not to be.
Yeah, that's another intriguing aspect to the WSL this year. Really, two new teams, and I think Knights, having again being southern based, keeping an eye on them. I think they're building something. I don't know how far up they'll get up the table, but I think building something for the future that's pretty pretty important. I think me being a player and fan of a championship club, they haven't probably been as successful as University or Eagles probably the last couple of years, but definitely a team that has grown a lot of talent, and teams probably moved on to other WSL clubs in previous years as well.
I think that was the thing. They have a lot of junior girls' numbers, and there's no kind of pathway for them to go. The year before, they lost the likes of Bologna to the Clarence Zebras, and they've got really good kind of academy youth numbers. It'll be a very young team this year. It'll be a development year, but we saw what they did with the men's side in the NPL. It didn't take long to make an impact.
Yeah, having that infrastructure is really, really important, and I think they can just sort of flow that over as
Westwood gets into trouble, and a chance here for Lucy Foote. Maybe just took the shot on a little early there, trying to catch Barrow out on the left. She puts her head up to the bench there. Knows that maybe she should have just taken a touch.
Yeah, could have taken that in a little bit further, I think, but just, again, maybe feeling that perceived pressure and making a turnover in that sort of position, it can be a little bit almost exciting to get that shot off, and just needed a little bit of maybe a shout to say take it in or take your time. But again, Farrow does take some beating, so you've got to make sure that you're creating those really high percentage opportunities.
And here's Abby White in midfield, lining with Sims, and bodies in the way for South Hobart. Watkins looks to turn away with it. That was shut down. Smith. Payne. A good year last year, Matty Payne. Was a sorts of goals for them. Will need to be perhaps even more so this year in White's absence. Sam Hardy. Now King. Diagonal raking ball. A pretty good one for Matthews, but the pace of Wright sees her back to cover.
Bridget Wright is quite quick. I play Ultimate Frisbee in the summer, and Bridget is one of the best players, probably in the state, to be honest. She never stops running, and see that there, just a bit of tracking pace from Bridget Wright.
Tidy play from Roberts and Choi, but unable to be continued. And the strikers win it back here through foot, just a little outside of the boot number down the line. They couldn't keep it in the confines.
Yeah, I think it will take a bit of effort, Georgia King to move up into central midfield, as that kind of has been her spot, and kind of getting up there. And I almost felt like that was a little bit of frustration, being like, come on, press forward. I shouldn't be the one up here, but it's the first sub of the game is here. Maybe that wave to the bench from Lucy Foote looks like she might be struggling with the heat a little bit, or some sort of niggle, and obviously no precautions taken there.
Well, they've got the interchange rule here, so each team allowed to make 3 interchanges throughout the match, so they'll certainly not be taking any precautions at the start. Risk rather than a star player like Lucy Foote. They can shuffle her back on later if she is fine, as this one's chipped towards Payne. Tries to take it around Byers, but Byers just buffets her off the ball nicely. Can she pick out a runner here? She can. It's a nice ball for Watkins, who's charging forwards, has Browning in the middle, rolls it in that direction. This time Mitchell has the safe hands. No spillage there, and shuts it down.
Just sort of looking at how Devonport are adapting this little tactical tweak. It looks like Payne's come into the middle as that kind of high 10 almost. She does have a lot of experience in that midfield area. And then obviously Michaela Goss, who is the sub. She's gone out wide on the right. As Choi makes a good little turn. Another one.
Wonderful work from Choi, blocked behind by King. Hands out of the way, but push on Choi. Such a tough choice between her and Lucy Roberts for player of the season for me last year. I thought they were both absolutely outstanding. I think I just went to Choi in the end based off the goals. Just had a happy knack in big games of scoring those goals, and a big part of that was her work from set pieces and in the air. So watch for her here to be a real threat.
Just that physicality that she offers. You see there, that power that she has, the speed that she has. Yeah, I can't think of too many players that I'd rather have to start a team with in the WSL.
Roberts and Byers combining nicely. Roberts' shot charged down well there by King. Let's lead the counter-attack now. Didn't really have an immediate option, just had to delay the release, and Batchelor able to shut it down, and she turns into midfield nicely. Batchelor, Hardy getting a foot in. Looks like Sophie Westwood sliding into centre-back this year. It's always going to be a big question, I think, at the back for them, who replaces Bridie Cooling. It's an outstanding season. It looks like Westwood shifted centrally, having primarily played as a fullback.
Yeah. I'm just trying to have a little look at this. I just was wondering about that counter-attack opportunity for Devonport, and obviously well snuffed out by his Batchelor. But again, they look just a little bit inexperienced up front, I would say, Devonport at the moment. Sims was not really sure whether to duck in behind or sort of drift out wide, and sort of looking towards the sideline. You can sort of see Devonport coaching staff now just having a little bit of a word about how to maybe look at this sort of action and look at and make that more effective. Choi's good tracking back there.
Nice for me is King staying to step out of defence and trying to drive the play a little bit herself. Just sensing perhaps the team needs a little bit of a lift.
Yeah, absolutely. You can sort of sense that energy coming from her a little bit.
Browning and Byers combining nicely. Byers, such an intelligent player, and whips this one up, but King was on hand just to steer it clear again. Whacked on out of there. Leading back is Batchelor. He just plays it out off of Goss, and looks like some interchange being made here.
Yeah, that will be important today, just with the heat. Had some absolutely stinking experiences playing Summer Cup. I remember there was one reserves game I played out at Olympia one year, and that was maybe the hottest game I've ever played. I think this will rival it, just only saved by the grass pitch as opposed to the artificial pitch. So, yeah, I think with that interchange rule, we'll be...
I was going to say, I thought they'd use that. We're at the halfway point. Might as well take the drinks break.
Yeah.
So, Summer Cup, with the weather as it is, we'll have one drinks break per half, which I think is just sensible given the conditions here.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very much needed. And, as we're talking about the conditions, it's just... I'm kind of wondering what sort of icy drinks they've got in that esky there. Very appealing to me as well, even though we are in the shade here at the commentary box.
We're well received, I'm sure. So, Alistair Russell rocking the backwards cap here today. There's Russell just giving instructions. And Valentine drawing his players in, looking for a response. South Hobart have definitely had the better of the early exchanges here. Lead 1-0. It was a little bit of a gift, but one that was accepted by Sam Watkins, who's sliding in alongside me in commentary. Got the rotation policy affecting comms here today too. The Summer Cup, Luca Forrest rejoined the coverage. Luca, what have you made the first 20 minutes or so here, mate?
Well, certainly watching on from the commentary box, there's been a lot on display for the moment. But what I have seen that Devonport a bit more the defensive side of this first half. We've seen South Hobart in particular looking to go forward, particularly on this right-hand side. The main advances in the wide positions. I don't know if that's a crossover of tactics, as we've seen in the under-21s. They played down that wide position as well, then crossing into the box. That's been a very good half so far. As players come out after having a bit of a drink. As you say, the weather, I think, she's tipped over to 31 degrees. Quite hot out there, a bit tough going, but I'm ready for the continuation of this first half here.
Yeah, it'll be the second half, I think, where the weather really comes into play. We might see a bit of lagging, a bit of fatigue late on in this one. And we'll see who's been doing the hard yards over the pre-season and who might just be found out to be short of a gallop. It's pretty tough conditions here, but lovely day to be out the football if we can find some shade. So 1-0 the score as play resumes.
I just want to touch on the point Alex made there about Devonport up front in particular. As you're saying, they look a bit flighty in that manner. I don't know if it's lack of experience, if it's just the heat, if it's just a sense of occasion, whether the manager has gone and said to them that this game matters and silverware is the priority. But just a little bit of trouble there remaining onside, and the physicality of South Hobart's defence. So it'll be interesting to see how they can bounce back from that. But South Hobart looking to keep the pressure on. Just looking to come down this left-hand side. A bit of physicality there.
One back in a dangerous area. Ollington just couldn't quite bring it under a spell. As Taylor Whitwer now leading the line has come on for the strikers. We'll see if that changes things in an attacking sense. Lucy Roberts bustling in to try and win that, but interjecting was Payne. Hawkins.
Loose ball, they change wide, go to number 17, Choi. Nice touch taken there. As Wright comes through. Foot race is on now.
It's Haber from the angle. She's just come on for South Hobart, really making an immediate impact there. Shot from the angle though, well covered by Michaela Mitchell.
Which is simple as you like rolling out. South Hobart looking to continue the pressure. Georgia King playing there alongside Bidwell.
Slightly loose touch there from Hannah Johnson. One of the new faces in the South Hobart defensive rear guard here today. That was really the basis of their success last year. South Hobart, that double digits, I think they went games, 900 minutes without conceding a goal. It was a real strength of the side, and certainly some personnel changes this year. Alistair Russell just spoke about a focus on maybe trying to score a few more goals this year. They want to quite lean on trying to grind out 1-0 as much as last year. Maybe just try and score a few more. That's supposedly been their focus over the pre-season.
We can see Devonport looking to go forward at the moment. There are numbers forward. Sims out here in the wide positions. To the midfield now. Lifted over by Hardy. Cleared by South Hobart. So Devonport strikers have another go here. Struggling to find free, so they have to go out wide. Looks to go inside. Touch there taken by Goss. Similar as you like there, Farrow.
Yeah, relatively untroubled since that early chance where she came up with the big slide out early, Jenna Farrow.
A lot of confidence up back. Farrow certainly playing a big part in this game. As you're saying, two sides full of experience, bit of youth as well.
Wilkins trying to get in behind there, couldn't quite do so.
Touch on a point you made previously, Andrew, about both sides looking to play out from the back, playing a bit of patient football. We can see that here as strives with the play out from that back. Wide positions here on the side close to the commentary box. They're covered, so they might have to go back through the midfield. Ball goes out wide to appears to be Mia Smith. And we advance that ball forward now. Tackle made.
Sammy Watkins certainly making her presence felt here in the first half as this one set out ahead of Ollington. She's got one in the middle to try and pick out. A couple of back here for the strikers though. Goes looking there. It's a dangerous looking ball. Trying to make it work there was Habit. Didn't quite sit for her.
Strikers now looking to get the ball out of defence. Number 9 there, Hardy, to clear it. They'll play out wide. Number 23, Goss. Lifted ball over. Headed away.
It's a great ball opportunity here for Grace Sims behind. It's going to roll wide. The flag had gone up anyway. It would have all been a moot point, but the most threatening moment Devonport have had in some time there. Farrow again showing her quality. Wasn't to know that the flag had been raised.
As you see how South Hobart build here, they've got options here on this right-hand side with Westwood and Choi here in the wide positions. Looking to play out from the back, ball through. Touch taken. Who's going to win the foot race? Nice bit of pressure. Throw in will come. Right. Cleared again. Bit of drama out here on the touchline.
Strikers felt that was their throw. I thought the ref was spot on, to be honest. Tom Valentine not loving the decision, it's fair to say.
Not totally Hardy there getting in. Having a bit to say, but nevertheless the throw in will come, it'll be right for South Hobart. Lifts over.
Referee having a laugh there. No, that one isn't, he said.
Certainly.
Classic style, 20 hands go up in the air, even though it's pretty obvious which team's throw it is. Everyone might as well try and claim it.
It'll be 25. Emmett to throw in. Touch taken number 4 quite poorly there. Payne capitalising to drive through the midfield. Tried to fire number 26, Witter. But Roberts recovering. Drives over looking Collington. Not quite going to get there. It'll be Bidwell. Bidwell with a bit of time here. Solid 3 at the back, but starts to play forward. Number 12, White. And that'll be out. Certainly a lot of passion on display here in these early minutes, Andrew.
A bit of feeling out there. Good rivalry between those two sides. This one just flies over Hardy's head and played behind Pishon Choi though.
Choi
in by Bridget Wright in midfield, who charges forward through the middle.
Looking for Hamilton. Devonport will play again through Hardy. Look to drive up the midfield now with Payne. That ball looking to find number 23, Goss. Danger here. Farrow comes out. Simple as you like. So confident in the goal.
Seeing is Lucy Roberts, the playmaker in midfield, trying to thread through for Ollington. We're shut down by Annalie Bidwell. Wasn't going to let that one get behind her. And Bidwell
looking to move forward in the wide positions. That ball will be out. Go the way of South Hobart. Throw in taken. Looking to find number 12, Watkins.
Just don't fuck up in the middle.
Strikers take the throw in, trying to find Hardy. They'll play out the back. Going to go up and develop in those wide positions, try and build up the tempo and create something. The ball's on the hands up for offside. Call is not given. There it is. So certainly a bit of back and forth here between Strikers and South Hobart. South Hobart obviously leading this match. The Strikers looking to go forward. South Hobart now drive it up the wing. The tempo's just slowed a little bit now. No side really looking to break you up from that wide position.
It's going to be tough to sustain a furious pace in temperatures like this. There's going to be lulls, there's going to be patches where the play just slows a little.
He lifts it over.
Swings it over the top there to Pishon Choi. Pishon Choi, well beaten though, nicely defended. Some strong stuff there from Emmett. Choi sliding back in, trying to win it back. We'll fall back to
Choi on the ball again. Hardy looks to drive it up. Number 21. Lifts it over. Touch taken. Just applying that pressure. It'll be Mitchell to take. Lifts over. Touch taken by Wright. Roberts on the ball. Little flick. It'll be covered by the Strikers. Under a bit of danger here. Cleared nicely.
Byers and Roberts combine. Now, Pishon Choi can drive the play here, sends it into the area, teasing ball, but no one on the end of it. Comfortable enough from Carter Mitchell. Gets them moving quickly, and they'll look to counter-attack now. A lot of movement ahead, though, of Mia Smith. They just had to go back and wait for some support. Doggedly determined out there. Sammy Watkins, who's made a real impact here. The new signing from the Lions, looking to nail down her spot in the starting lineup. Absolutely doing that through the opening half out. One of the best players out there.
Strikers to throw in. Touch taken by White. We're going to move it up the middle now. Weighted pass. Not quite finding there. Nice touch by Roberts, South Hobart. We'll slow the tempo down. Finds Ollington. Got to drive through the middle. They have options forward. Just not able to find one of them there. But Pishon Choi on the ball now. Looking to advance. Spots the pass through. Looking good here. Takes a hit. Not quite.
Well done, Holly Emmett came storming back and just delaying the shot a fraction of a second. Alex Hammer there, and that allowed the defender time to nip in and put it behind. She needed to take the shot on a little earlier. Wasn't quite aware the defensive pressure was coming. In the end, behind for a corner, a promising moment that for South. Byers and Roberts across to take here as Grace Sims will just come across to cover the short option, which with these two standing over the ball, very much an option. And Scasso takes it. Enjoyable watching these two play together this year, I reckon, Roberts and Byers. It'll be similar to the partnership she had with Swain last year, as Roberts sends this one into the top of the box, volley goalward, cleared away, headed back to the top of the box, catching it on the turn, just past the post was Byers. Not too far away from doubling South's advantage there.
There was centimetres in it. Mitchell now under a bit of pressure now. South looking to pressure, particularly coming down this right hand side. Push on Choi controlling the tempo.
Get in there, mate.
Good out now. It'll be Emmett under pressure. You can push on Choi. It'll be cleared through. They can't make anything of it. Strong tackle.
There's a foul blown there on Abby White. Lucy Roberts going down to the deck, and this is a free kick very much in Lucy Roberts' range. It'll take a spectacular strike, but one of the most capable dead ball specialists in the state standing over it.
From the set piece, as you're saying there, Andrew, deadly. Certainly talented from the set piece.
He's a long way out. Taylor Mitchell, the import goalie, just getting a wall set up here. We'll see if Roberts opts to shoot. I suspect she might. She might just test out the keeper. He's already let through one shakily. Here is Lucy Roberts! Absolutely brilliant from Roberts.
Absolutely fantastic there. Really pressuring Mitchell on that right-hand side. As we were saying there, set-piece specialist.
She's done it again. So many times we've seen this from Lucy Roberts. Over the dead ball. Finesses it into the top corner. A spectacular strike. That's why she is amongst the very best players in the state. And she doubles South Hobart's advantage here. You cannot strike a free kick better than that.
Absolutely phenomenal free kick. That's the kind of thing to go in the highlights reel.
Yeah, it'll be on replay a few times, I reckon. Lucy Roberts scored a few like that last year. Picked up where she left off after a highly impressive 2023.
There, Emmett's cut behind, playing through the defence. Hardy there, with a physical presence in the midfield. Good ball out wide. Strike's got numbers advancing, but they are outnumbered by South Hobart's defence. As we see Bachelor looking to make it a challenge. Strike taken, just down past the right-hand side.
Taylor Whitwell, almost the immediate response there is Russell about to pull a triple swap here. Really mixing things up. It's going to be Browning coming back on. Nikki Mitsatsos is going to come on, and Phoebe Clifford fires Westwood. And Ollington, the three, making way.
Farrow playing. It's a short passing option. They have Clifford. Wide push on Shoy on the ball. Challenge made by Hardy. It'll be Clifford on the throw-in for South Hobart. Looks to drive. Clifford again. Spots pass through push on Shoy. In there with speed. Hardy now slows tempo. Plays through the defence. They'll play right back to Mitchell now. Certainly hotting up here in the commentary box. Certainly be a lot more intense out there on the pitch. As you're saying, the 3 interchange rule, particularly in a game like this, will be very, very important to make some smart subs and keep some fresh legs on the pitch.
Yeah, the day you're going to use your full 15 or 16 out there today, certainly as this match wears on, there'll be a bit of fatigue at play, you'd imagine. South Hobart 2-0 ahead. They're not going to have to expend energy chasing the game, so that's a big advantage their way. The strikers would dearly love a response before the half here as Roberts wins it back again. Bachelor forward, but broken up on White. Her pass, though, not able to find a target. We tick towards the half-time break. 2-0 South Hobart. Goals from Watkins. And a spectacular free kick from Lucy Roberts, who curls one down the line here, but Bidwell across again to deal with the threat. Just takes it out of play.
These throw-ins to come for South Hobart. They've got those 3 players back, just awaiting that Devonport counter-attack. And yet they've got Michon Choi out wide, number 17, awaiting a possible switch. The low ball's driven in. Nothing made of it though, it'll be cleared.
Devonport weren't through the referee before that moment. I can't imagine they're going to be loving that as a potential counter-attack inadvertently shut down there by the referee. Just doesn't seem they might be able to get a break going.
A drop ball. As a resort, I'll go short rather than going over. Player down here in the centre. Doesn't look to be too good. Potentially a change may be made for South Hobart.
Sammy Watkins again, I think she's been throwing herself about out there.
No, certainly. You can see Browning there on the first over.
And we're hoping she's all right, because she's had a profound impact upon proceedings thus far. Scored the opening goal and has had some real promising moments down that left-hand side, Sammy Watkins.
No, certainly, he had the feeling that she was just up in the tempo and something again was going to come. As you're saying, being clinical in this first couple of minutes. She appears to be up. So South Hobart can breathe a sigh of relief there As a throwing count from South Hobart.
Take two.
Take two.
I'll start my yearly tradition of complaining about that rule. If you're not good enough to throw the ball back into play, give it to the other team. Shouldn't get a second crack at it. Get that out of the system early, week one. I'll sharp about it the rest of the year. This one's chipped forward. Well down, Lucy Roberts doing a mountain of work in midfield as per usual, and I thought it was clipped there, and yes, the referee just waiting to see if there was any advantage before dragging it back.
Roberts, they're playing very, very well so far. Started a bit deeper, more towards the back line, but has made her way into midfield and has been responsible for some of South Hobart's movement forward, playing almost as a central defensive midfielder role. But of course we have seen that she is prolific up front as well. Browning looking to close. Devonport now with options forward. They try and spot the pass. Looking to find... Oh, strong challenge made there. That confidence from Farrow. We've seen parts of it in this match so far.
Jenna Farrow, I think he's getting into trouble for just leaving a little bit in there. She obviously got the ball with one foot, but referee decided with the other foot. Didn't like what he saw there, and Farrow issued a slice of cheese there.
Slice of cheese, mate. Farrow there, the confidence to come out of the box and look to take on the ground ball. Just didn't quite come off her way then.
I certainly don't think Taki was expecting her to come flying in there. The keeper
certainly
having to come flying off her range. Jenna Farrow, very comfortable.
Certainly the ball is more towards the keeper. You expect a tendency, but Farrow covered a lot of ground there coming out of goal. Here we South Hobart to continue work down the left-hand side. It'll be Devonport throwing. It'll be number 20, Smith. On the throwing goes to Hardy. Not much to come from that. South now the opportunity. Not quite clearing through there. Devonport remaining strong in the defence. Just haven't quite been able to capitalise in the final third. Chances forward now, but cleared away right after that. Hardy being closed down very, very quickly. Good challenge.
There's a hard work, and Mutsatsos is Payne with some strong hold-up play there. Knocks it across to Sims. Looking for Payne in return. Got back to Roberts, who lost it to Hardy. One back though, Watkins runs it through and then sent wide. Sims was the target. It was nicely broken up though, and now Southall to try and spring a counter-attack through Pishon Choi. Charging down the right is Choi as a bursting run in front of her from Batchelor. That's where she heads. Ruby Batchelor turning back on the left, but a good foot in from Emmett. Repels and sees it out of play. Throw nodded away. Back in the direction of Choi.
He's on Choi there.
It's the Batchelor.
Goes back.
This was charged down though. King composed at the back, but it won't roll out for her. South able to nip in and win it to Batchelor. Batchelor now with some support. Still going, Batchelor. Still going. Turning one way, then the other. The support came in the form of Hobart. And in the end, Batchelor able to re-pick her out. So, pressure being applied, Strikers' defence holds up, and we're nearly at the half-time break. South Hobart firmly in command here.
Obviously looking for Hardy. Strong challenge made. Pishon Shaw will be there to pick up the crumbs. Opportunity of South Hobart going forward. They decide to go down the wing. Looks to the cross, but fantastic block there from Abby White. Number 12 for Devonport Strikers.
So perhaps one final chance in the half here for South Hobart to extend their lead. We saw in the 21s final before this a 2-0 lead turning into 3-0 right on the stroke of half time. It was such a deflating blow for Riverside. It would be similar here. The Strikers All hands on deck at the back. Need to survive this. Cannot go into the second half 3 goals down.
Lucy Roberts to take the corner. We know how dead she is off the set piece. Saw only about 15 minutes ago she sank a fantastic free kick to the top right corner. Let's see what she makes of this. Drives it in low.
Delivery. Kiefer came flapping, didn't you, out to it.
Desperation up the line. Numbs the back for South Hobart. They'll have another go. Out wide to Lucy Roberts. She's closed down by Georgia King.
Experience from Georgia King there. She knew Roberts wanted to turn back onto the left, said, no, I'm going to give you the right-hand side. If you can take this past me, go for it. I know you're not going to try that. You just want to get back onto that trusty left. There's very experienced defender, Georgia King. One of the best in the business. South knocking on the door in the shadows of half-time. Hardy gets in the nod clear. Again, able to win the ball back here. South Hobart, Browning got it to Roberts. Roberts raking ball, a dangerous one, trying to spring Watkins. A little too much on it though. Well, we're going to play. That will be all she wrote for the first half. And South Hobart hold a 2-0 lead. And they've been good value for it too. The first goal, a little fortuitous, a keeping error capitalised upon by Sam Watkins, who had the simplest of tap-ins. Nothing simple about goal number 2, Lucy Roberts. With a stunning free kick from 30 yards to double their lead. As we reach the half-time break, as the defending Super League champions well en route to another piece of silverware.
Reigning Super League champions on for another piece of silverware here. That 2-0 lead, very, very clinical. I wouldn't say it's been a one-sided affair thus far through the midfield and around the defensive perimeters of the Devonport strikers. Both sides defending well, both sides pretty even through the midfield. It's just that ability, South Hobart, to capitalise on those chances. As you were saying, quite lucky on the first goal, but nothing simple about that second goal. Absolutely remarkable free kick taken there. We'll be back very, very shortly for second half action here between South Hobart and Devonport strikers.
That might still be going with us. So.
Do you want something to eat? Salad roll, chips, what would you like?
Salad roll, be good.
A couple of do you want me to bring some down, maybe half a dozen? Yeah, okay.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
I'll bring some down.
They're going to be in there, though, aren't they?
No good for the viewers.
Yeah, and it's hard because you're trying to watch that game and get that information, but it's a little bit of like, and I try and use it like a hand and stuff like that, just to be really clear on who's speaking. Yeah, and it is harder doing like two play-by-play because it's easier to be like, oh, it's my turn, and like,
That's what I would have done with that one, especially for these play-by-play.
yeah, but like, I feel like you're important sort of you kind of both do play-by-play a little bit as well. It's fun. We do it a lot.
talked a couple of times.
Yeah.
First gone.
Yeah, I do remember our first game last year.
Yeah, chemistry takes a bit of time to
It
build
goes
in
so
commentary.
fast.
Yeah, you're doing well. There you go. Yeah, just that's the number one thing. Just make sure we're not talking over the conversation.
That would be
Seems like you're happy.
an interesting challenge, right? Oh, no, I've played challenge. Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, don't tell me Friday. Oh, don't be Friday.
Protein ball, put your take cover.
What?
That's good.
Oh, very good. Dangerously good.
You want another one?
No.
I'm trying to eat them.
I'm trying to eat well.
They're not fat. Protein.
Oh, that's good. I've got flat.
So, do you want to do,
Hey, do you two want to do the first question, right?
and then we'll finish meet,
Go back to what we started with.
yeah. Yeah.
So, you two can do the first one after this bit.
Do you want to take kind of the presenting that welcome back to the start of this year, or do you want to do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Got to do action by action, not try and feel what Andrew does.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, if you do that, and I'll just do colour. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, probably the better way to do it.
Yeah.
Just one roll.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
No, I won't say well. You do a few games, you learn to play
Yeah.
games, and you'll be flowing.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you'll be able to do games solo. You pick it up very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
This is like,
yeah.
yeah, that's,
Yeah, just go. Couple on that, sort of that miss.
I'm interested. I mean, we'll talk about pre-game. Yeah, I'm interested in seasons for the men. I think this will be one of the more open for a while, but that might be. Yeah.
With them, you know what,
I think South and North would be, South in particular,
you see how nice Kimber is very even.
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah.
Problem is, I can see them all taking points off each other when they go down south, and then no one taking points from going
Yeah,
home.
fair.
That's with Devonport. They're just so consistent. No title challenges, there's always some challenge who just take points off them. But Kimber in the second half of last year, you know, about round 12 onwards.
Yeah, yeah, they just needed to kind of figure a couple of things out. I think, yeah, I was pretty impressed by them because they were getting a little bit like split open on the counter and picked that up a little bit, and then they playing. I mean, I went away for like basically just after they started hitting goals. But yeah, I think in terms of like continuity, they've done pretty well, like pretty close to everyone, and getting right in. Yeah.
Austin's the only major.
Yeah, he's such a material player, though, where I'm like...
You missed the best of his last 2 months.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I saw a couple of highlights.
He absolutely tore it up in the last setup. Something clicked around about round 13. He threw a good time, yeah, playing attacker. It wasn't a free role, but it was far more attacking role than the fullback that he played. Holy, they were smoking them. So him, Taylor, Cody and Noah. And then Freddie kind of charging off in midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Hess was really good last season. Like, I think I watched one game where they played against Devonport down here. I can't remember if he scored this time. I think he did. He walked past basically the whole Devonport defence, which not many people do. I used to play with Miles Barner before he went up there to Devonport, so I know him like decently well. We had him chat at half time, and he was just like, we can't have Hess walking through our midfield.
No, Barney the Fox.
Yeah.
Character. This is a happy mental story.
Yeah.
Happy goals.
I think,
We have. Yeah, it's coming. So you're coming back on. Please come on. No, sorry, it's coming back
Well, Lightwood Park is the venue as we come out for the second half of this Women's Super Cup Summer Cup final. Devonport City Strikers taking on South Hobart. South Hobart with the advantage of the first half, 2-0. The first goal with a bit of luck, some would say an unlucky deflection, but the second goal was absolutely class. From the set-piece specialist herself, it was number 4.
Come on, mate.
It was number 4, Lucy Roberts there. Both sides looking to impose themselves here quite even through the midfield, and I am here with Alex, mate. What did you make of the first half?
Oh yeah, it was a good kind of even match-up for the first probably like 10 or 15 minutes, and South Hobart with a bit of a jammy goal, I will have to say, to get 1-0 up, but just, as you say, pure class from Lucy Roberts to put that one away. And handy 2-goal lead for South Hobart, but I don't think Devonport are out of this. They had the better of probably the first 5 or 10 minutes and played a little bit better towards the end of that first half, so hopefully they can continue some of that and maybe get back into the game.
Almost certainly, as we can see, out in the wide positions, we can see Devonport looking to make advances, but South Hobart unwilling to give away this 2-goal lead. Given the sun is beaming down, it's set to be a scorcher. We are going to have a drinks break halfway through the half to make sure the players are hydrated and that heat stroke is not a problem today. They play out the back in the wide positions, ball through. Still by the Devonport. Bit of physicality there. It's going to be number 12.
Really well done by Watkins. She'll get it back. And pursued by Bidwell, and it's away from Devonport. Interesting to see how they've rejigged the back line for South Hobart. Looks like Bridget Wright's gone into centre back, kind of sacrificing a little bit of height there. And they've kind of rolling with a much more attacking right back, maybe even almost kind of a 3 at the back situation here for South Hobart as Watkins goes through.
Watkins goes through now, looking for the cross. But safe set of hands there, Mitchell. Particularly what you're saying about more attacking right back, couldn't agree more. I don't know if they'll try and play that 3 centre back line and almost have the full back walking up into midfield. It'll be interesting to see how they roll here in the second half, Devonport. Yeah. Obviously making some changes after the 2-goal deficit after half time as Hardy drives through the midfield.
A little flick away. And it'll be Michaela Goss on the break. She's getting pursued by Ruby Batchelor, and Batchelor will just harry it out over the line. And a little counter for Devonport, but again, tracked down pretty well, and Watkins finds herself in space. That will be pretty much key for Devonport to shut down that threat over the left-hand side. It does sort of look like South Hobart are setting up in that back 3, actually. Looking at Haber, I hope I've said that name correctly. Again, lack of a pronunciation guide here at the WSL that can be a little bit challenging at times, but she's sort of playing as a right wing back almost, and yeah, they've got Wright and Westwood kind of patrolling that central side, so a bit of a different shape for South Hobart. It's thrown back in. Maybe White, she's on the break. Decent ball through, but again, marshalled very well by Sophie Westwood.
Going forward now, lofted ball over the top. Don't know what the result's going to be. Looks like it's going to be a throw-in. And throw-in is confirmed. It will be Holly Emmett on the throw-in for Devonport. Going to play through the midfield, trying to find Hardy. Not quite going to eventuate that way. Bit of physicality there at the back. Strong challenge made. Browning looking to steal the ball, but Devonport again, good on the ball and good on the break. But as quickly as I say that, ball lofted back in the midfield.
Really Bidwell there, just really making some good challenges and trying to drive her team forward. Again, that's where the forward thrust is coming from for Devonport. And Batchelor again showing her wheels. She was driving forward now. And it's a decent ball. It's a little bit in front of the strike partnership there for South Hobart. Is away by the Devonport defence. Again, that was a super display of speed Again, they've pushed their fullbacks up and a little bit more kind of wing-back situation here. Batchelor showing that she does have the legs to get up and down as Watkins miscontrols that one a little bit. So I think with those sort of, with the interchange here, South Hobart are embarking on a little bit more kind of experimentation for the season. You don't often see a back three in Tasmanian football generally, so as a bit of a tactics buff myself, I'm very excited to see that come out from South Hobart.
It is good turn from Alia Browning. Looks to drive inside. There could be a 30 if it's... Oh, solid block that.
Yeah, really
fantastic
good
work from George King. Particularly as you were saying about the tactics, they're playing that 3 at the back as it appears they're doing with a really attacking right back. It offers some questions about South Hobart's.
I thought that was an own goal for a second there, but yeah, it's just a relentless pressure from South Hobart, and that overload is going to be very challenging for Devonport to deal with, as you say.
Yes, most certainly there. Mitchell looking to play out from the back. Yeah, looking for the loft, looking to look to play to the wide positions. South Hobart have the luxury of not chasing the game. They are 2 goals ahead. It will take 3 to dislodge them and make them think about it. But at the moment, given the heat and given the pressure, Devonport putting them under at the moment, I would much rather be in South Hobart's shoes than I would Devonport's.
Oh, definitely. 2-goal lead. Some people say it's the most dangerous lead in football, as that's a dangerous ball from right. I don't agree with that at all. I have seen 3-2 comebacks, but I've seen plenty more 2-0 win, 2-1 wins in my time. So yeah, they'll be feeling pretty comfy out here, even as you say, given the conditions. But Devonport looking to just thread that ball through. It's not quite coming off for them at the moment. South Hobart's defence remains a strength of theirs.
Good turn there from Holly Emmett. As Devonport look to drive wide, lofted ball over, won't result. They'll play back. Yes, they will play back to the strong hands, the safe hands of Jenna Farrow. My apologies. That ball will be out wide. I believe it'll be a Devonport. Yes, it will be Devonport throw in. Devonport here in these past 5 minutes showing a little bit more than we've seen, putting South Hobart under that pressure, I suppose, given that they are 2 goals down. We're going to need to start seeing a little bit more from them.
Big clearance away there from Roberts, just puts her foot through it, but there is a player down for South Hobart, so I guess that is the reason. It looks like South will make the change with Phoebe Clifford getting herself ready. Looks like Sophie Westwood maybe just a little bit of a knock there. Doesn't look too bad. She's walked off, and they will make that sub now. Just waiting for confirmation from the 4th official today, which again another luxury of a cup final day. 4 officials and a subs board. It makes it a little bit easier for the commentators, even though the interchange makes that a little bit harder to deal with. So, yeah, as we just take a little breath with the sub. Still 2-0 to South Hobart. I think Devonport will feel a little bit of confidence for the way they've played in this first opening stanza of the second half. And there's a bit of a late challenge on Lucy Roberts. Looks like she's felt that one on the ankle. Slice of cheese, second for the game, comes out for Maddie Payne, I think that is. Yeah. It's Maddie Payne for the second yellow card of the game after Jenna Farrow's earlier challenge in the first half.
Certainly some goalkeeping heroics from Farrow in that first half. I don't expect Devonport expected the goalkeeper to come as far out of the box.
No, she's, as you say, a very confident character and wants to make an impact. Got that aggressive style as Payne launches and, again, a little bit rushed in their good opportunities, I think, today, Devonport. Lucy Foote had a good opportunity in that first half and sort of took it maybe a little bit further out than she needed it. An opportunity there. They had a 3-on-2 with Payne electing to shoot from distance, and as you say, Farrow, with their confidence, you really got to make sure you have a very high percentage opportunity to make them count.
It'll be South Hobart to throw in now. Oh, the ball's given away. Throwing coming. Touch taken. Nothing comes of it. Hardy, nice little turn. They'll play out back. Pressure there from Browning. They go up the line. South Hobart's defence under a bit of pressure there, but well cleared. Browning won't quite get there. But there we see the set-piece specialist, Lucy Roberts, looking to cover the midfield. Ball forward here, chance for Browning.
Well covered off there by Devonport defence. Bidwell there making a desperate challenge. It's getting a little bit stretched now. You can see Hatter goes through the middle. She'll poke it through to Watkins. Good opportunity for Watkins, and it's well saved. Oh no, it's spilt again by the keeper. She looks like she's in a bit of trouble though. South are playing on. It's at the back post and it's away by Hardy, and the referee will blow for a stoppage. Just took his time just to confirm that the keeper was down for the count there. As Kayla Mitchell hits the deck, that was a little bit of a hairy situation. She bravely came for that and made a good save, but again, I think just copped a little bit on the way through, and almost a repeat of that first goal in the first half. And luckily for Devonport, they do manage to get numbers back and deal with the threat.
Devonport well cleared off the line there. There's a bit of a limp to Mitchell at the moment.
Yeah, she looks sore, but looks like she's up and going again. Don't know if they've got a reserve keeper on the bench today. Doesn't look like it from where I'm sitting. Also, just a little injury update on Lucy Foot. Did see her kind of limping off with a strapped right thigh, so I don't think she'll take any further part in today's game, which is a pretty big out for Devonport. Again, a little bit of an experience, I'd say, up in that sort of front third. Really, I think since she's gone off, it's been a little bit more difficult for them.
No sense of that, mate, as they play out wide now. It's Batchelor showing that pace, showing that real speed. Hardy looking to close. Strong challenge made.
And no call from the referee. I don't know how much of the ball Hardy got. Batchelor all smiles. She obviously didn't mind it too much. I feel like I would be rolling around on the ground if that happened to me.
Well, mate, that makes two of us.
Yeah. Bouncy ball comes through.
Header not quite completed. Cleared by South Hobart. Good find.
Again, and Hardy can't get through it. A little bit of a holding pattern now in the game. It's a little bit messy in this middle third. Just Goss trying to bustle her way through. Can't get there. Roberts will play a nice little ball in and will get bounced back, and Baez trying to launch the attack out to Hatter. It's a good challenge, and it will go back into the mixer as Baez will recycle, get out to Roberts and plays Watkins in a heap of space. She'll line it up and hit it on her left, but flag is up on the far side and didn't make it count anyway, but it was a good save was made by Michaela Mitchell. But that is the danger there. You can't leave Sam Watkins alone. She is a goal threat, and as Andrew was saying earlier, just looking to add a little bit more of that this season, coming across from Kimber Lyons.
Coming across from the lines, they're looking to be a bit more dangerous. We have certainly seen what she is capable of. Not converting as much in the final third as some would like, but nonetheless we have seen what she can do there. But at the moment, I'd say in the past 10 minutes, it's been pretty even Stevens between Devonport and South Hobart.
Just getting to that point of the game where I think early season, the legs starting to burn a little bit, especially in this heat. It's Batchelor again, launches it forward, and it's not really in the vicinity of any of the South Hobart forwards. Wellington press King. She'll play out, find the winger, but Batchelor again, it's been very impressive on this left-hand side, but it's nicked away from her by Annalie Bidwell. It's covered off over on this near side. And Bidwell again, she'll run forward. I have to ask her twice to get forward, and she'll play it wide. Batchelor again with a lovely sliding tackle. Actually, that's Hannah Johnson, sorry. Two blonde-haired players with similar boots on the left-hand side of South Hobart.
It'll be Devonport to take the throw in. Number 6, Bidwell. Sends it long into a bit of space. Not quite cleared though. South Hobart lofts the ball over, looking for Alia Browning. Hardy there, the physical presence. Just
Just a little nick on the way through. That was on Ollington. Just hit the deck. I think 2 on toward there from the strikers, and Roberts, the dead ball specialist, will survey her options.
Devonport would be on their toes, knowing how much a specialist. Sends it wide, lost the ball over. Good bit of block from Devonport there, as they now come looking to attack quickly. South Hobart, though, one thing I'll say they've done very well in this second half and throughout the whole game. Every time Devonport look to be on the quick break, they don't have to shut it down. May take the physical toll, but they have the comfort of a 2-goal lead.
It's so well organised there at the back. Even switching to this back three, and you see Roberts dropping in there. They just really have a good system. As Payne looks to play through, it's not really the angle that is going to trouble Jenna Farrow. She's speedily out to take it. And they'll play out again.
Pressure there from Devonport. They get the ball away. It's good. It's in a bit of a wide position. Pressure on here. They'll have to look to cut inside the midfield or try and find the pass. They found the pass. Bit of danger here. Offside. The hand is up. Not quite there, though.
It looked off to me that maybe the assistant referees just put the flag down. Byers will try and knock another one through, though. And Devonport will get a bit of time to recycle here. And again, it's just an interesting phase of the game. South Hobart, the press not quite as active as it was in that first half. They're sort of more relying on that back three to make turnovers. This strikers try and keep possession now. King will play back to the keeper. Mitchell will spread it out wide. Go back into Bidwell. Browning on her back. And it's a bit of a hairy pass into the middle, and it's sliced over the top and well covered in the end by Mitchell. No chance of that being a back pass. Just affected by the wind and the spin on that one. From this angle, that looked like that was flying in top corner. That would have been a really devastating blow to go 3-0 down for Devonport. Already had one goal that I think Mitchell would like to have back. He wouldn't want an own goal and a mistake to really bury your chances of a Summer Cup. As it stands, they're still in it. And again, Batchelor just holding strong on this left-hand side as Devonport will ring a change. Mia Smith coming back onto the field as Hardy will come off.
Right, Hardy coming off has been a big physical presence in this game so far, particularly in the midfield. Has given Devonport chances going forward. It'll be interesting to see how Smith will play now. Now she's been brought on. Speaking of Devonport on the attack now, that's Abby White. Going to drive the ball forward. On the ball again. Pressure. South Hobart's defence will going to remain composed. That three at the back we're speaking of. It's looking to go wide. Strong tackle made.
Phoebe Clifford's strong challenge there. But yeah, Devonport starting to put a bit of pressure on. Sims is in the area at the moment. King will pull the trigger from almost half court, Damian Lillard style. She's going to have to get back here as the counter's on for South Hobart. Bustling through his Browning. He's got 2-on-1 and then plays it through the legs. Watkins running onto it. She'll take it around on her left foot again. It's a good block. Really, Holly Emmett making the covering challenge. And South just happy to kind of pick off and play on the break at the moment. Watkins, such a hard runner. But putting herself on her left foot, and she did pretty well to create an angle. But again, evasive action taken by Devonport. As we trickle towards the drinks break here at Lightwood Park.
Drinks break came out certainly. As you were saying earlier, Alex, we're beginning to see why Watkins is that deadly. The past couple of attacks she's been playing key roles in that. As Andrew was saying, she'd like to add a few more goals to the repertoire, but we have Roberts, who's just on the ball, but it appears Devonport may have one last attack before we go to drinks.
Goss looking for Sims, but well covered off again by Batchelor. He's been outstanding in the second half. There's Roberts again. Away by Emmett. And over for a corner will be Roberts to take, probably out swinging. With Byers coming across as well. Wonder whether they'll take it short. We're still 2-0 here at Lightwood Park. Definitely that wind is starting to drop off a little bit. I feel like it will hit peak heat for the men's final. It's unfortunate for the players, but will be a good workout for them as they look towards the regular season. Here is Roberts. He floated up. Clifford's at the back and it goes over her head. It's actually Watkins at the back post. And that will go out for a Devonport throws. They just look to catch their breath here. Again, oppressive conditions here at Lightwood Park, so just taking a little bit of a break.
Certainly as the heat intensifies, the pace will slow down a little bit. As you were saying previously, the game's ebbs and flows at the moment. We've seen in this half in particular moments of high intensity, particularly when Devonport are on the break. And South Hobart just remaining composed and using a little bit more time, given they do have the lead to their advantage. As we see Roberts through the midfield. They look to drive. They're rounding spots. Watkins in the danger zone. Could look for the cross, but again, clinical.
Huge tackle there. I think that might have come off Watkins there as a ricochet. Devonport bench are up in arms about that one. I think they're just inquiring about how that was physically possible, but it remains South Hobart throw. Here's Batchelor. White well away. Sims has to get on her bike. He's right. This really cool customer. A bit of an unsung player, I would say, for South Hobart last year. Probably didn't start all of their games, but a crucial squad player, and so can play in centre-back or full-back position for them.
Throw in Devonport. It will be number 20, Mia Smith.
Player behind play just with a knock. That might be Emmis. He's down. And bring the trainer on, and we'll have the drinks break now. Probably an opportune time to take that one as we have a break in play. It's still 2-0 to South Hobart. It remains unchanged for the time being from the half time. As we welcome back Andy Cooley momentarily to finish out this one. It's been a bit of a cagey half, I will have to say. It's been pretty even. Probably, again, the line share of chances, field position, definitely going the way of South Hobart, but I think Devonport haven't been without their opportunities to break, but South Hobart are just so clinical at the back and just have it look like they've got more fresh bodies at the moment with Emmett coming off and Foot being out as well, so they'll be feeling confident running into this second half, Andy.
Yeah, certainly. I think it's going to be who's got the legs here in this final 20 minutes or so. You touched on the heat a moment ago. That wind we've kind of had most of the days really died down the last half hour, and the temperature is certainly coming into play. 33 degrees, pretty hot out there, and I think the pace of the game has noticeably lagged a little here in the second half, which is to be expected. Certainly not going to be able to maintain a furious tempo in this heat, but it's about conserving your energy for those big moments and maybe some fresh legs off the bench. It's been a battle. I reckon the injury to Lucy Foot has loomed large over this game. I really think since she's gone off, Lucy Roberts has been able to take control of that midfield. And it's just that physical presence that Foot had in there early on. She was winning plenty of the ball. It's really stung Devonport in this game so far.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Again, it's sort of just tests your depth out a little bit as well, and that can be a good thing in, again, it is a cup final, but also that dual role of pre-season. Yeah, as I said, it can be a good thing, but if you are, looking for the win today, which both teams are, that is a huge loss for Devonport. And I just think with South Hobart's sort of rejig of the squad, they've sort of been able to interchange freely, nothing really changing in the system, kept the crucial players in when they've needed to, but just sort of been able to maintain that level of freshness, and I think that will hold them in good stead as we will make our way back onto the field after the cooling break.
There's a couple of openings at the back for South Hobart this year, and some players very much putting their hands up for those positions heading into the season. Phoebe Clifford coming on here in the second half. She'll be hoping to push her claim.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Chelsea Seger yet today either. One of the ex-Kinga players who've come across to South Hobart today, along with Nikki Mutsatsos and Clifford and Watkins as well. So fairly big exodus. And just down this southern outlet, really, down to Darcy Street. And yeah, Clifford been solid in there. I think Wright and Batchelor, Johnson as well, all done very well back there. And again, it was saying that South Hobart looking to evolve their play style, but they can just bank on being solid back there. They've really not really looked too under pressure, really, for the majority of this game.
Yeah, I feel like they've been pretty comfortable. The absence of Jasmine White, I think, has certainly been felt for the Strikers. They're trying to learn and adapt to this new way of playing, this new way to find goals. Previous years, you could always kind of just knock it there into the channel for White. So
yeah, and they're definitely you can see they're progressing in that style. An example here of playing a little bit shorter, but at times they're still needing to go direct, and that's where it's getting maybe a little bit confused at times. Because King will knock it in behind.
Lovely ball for Smith bursting down the right. She's charging into the box here. Here's an opening here for the Strikers. The cutback is intercepted. Just couldn't quite find a teammate. It was a promising move there for the Strikers. And now back the other way comes Watkins, puts it out into space, and here's an opportunity now for Browning. She's got all sorts of room here, Alia Browning squares it up. Big opportunity for Ollington. She put it straight at the keeper. A comfortable save in the end for Mitchell. Got down well, but the shot just lacking a little conviction for mine there, Alex.
Yeah, just got her body position a little bit tangled up. It's understandable. It's been 2 of those today for Ollington. Again, getting in great positions, you can't complain with that, but just hadn't really sorted her feet out or looking at that real balance kind of receive and shot. So Watkins again, that just work rate. They're going to love that down at Darcy Street this season.
Next ball out. Yeah, she's certainly had an impact here today. Sammy Watkins, an astute pick up there from South Hobart. And Maddie Chambers for much of last year, so they're in the market for a winger, and Watkins fitting the bill nicely thus far. It's King. Also through to Abby White. Proper player White. She'll roll this one through, trying to spring Mia Smith, but always to the favour of Hannah Johnson. And keep it in play with Batchelor, who's been rock solid today. Watkins back inside to Roberts. Roberts now looking for a run. I think Browning had just strayed. Flag stayed. No, there it goes. So I thought she had strayed by a step.
I was calling that one in the commentary box, right on my line there.
Yeah, Alex had his flag up here very early. Certainly looked at it as Watkins and Byers being replaced by Pishon Choi and Nikki Mutsatsos.
I think on any other team you'd be like, oh geez, 2 of your crucial players coming off for arrest. It's pretty again, a bit of a luxury to bring Mutsatsos and Choi on for Byers and Watkins, but again that just shows the on-paper strength of South Hobart. Again, championships are not won on paper, but looking the goods today so far. But again, I think Devonport, probably the last 5-10 minutes, starting to get a little bit of traction through that right-hand side with Smith, and King and White have sort of started to combine a little bit in that midfield. So just getting that last sort of element right in their final third, and I think things will start to click for them.
Emily Bidwell turns nicely out of trouble and heads into the middle, surrounded by South Hobart shirts. Rocks it across there to Maddie Payne. Wants to get onto a preferred right, and does, but can get the purchase she was after on the shot. Easy pickings there for Jenna Farrow. 2-0 the score. The Strikers trying to find an avenue back into this one. Better in this second half, but South Hobart solid at the back thus far. Lucy Roberts has been magnificent as ever, and that's a wonderful raking ball over the top to release Pishon Choi. She's got some runners in the middle, takes the shot on early. I'm not sure that was the option there. A rare bad decision from Pishon Choi, and Devonport breathed a sigh of relief.
I've got to take my coaching hat off sometimes in the commentary box. If I was coaching that situation, I'd just be imploring them to take it in a bit closer. There's been a few of those today where we just got a little bit keen to shoot from distance, and I'm just like, at least gamble on getting a little bit closer, but again, backing themselves, you want to see that confidence from the players. And we've already seen one spectacular striking distance from Robert. So, again, sometimes you're made a fool to play those percentages, but definitely on that occasion, Choi did all the hard work and then just let herself down a little bit and gets through to Mutsasos and finds Choi again. Maybe she'll have a chance to make amends here.
Choi screwing up for Rollington. Flag stays down. Looking for Mutsasos. Well defended though. And seen away. There's a few holes starting to open up at the back here for Devonport. Can South take advantage? The pitch starting to get stretched. Some tired bodies out there.
Yeah, they're putting in a hard effort though, these Devonport defenders. They're left a little bit isolated and they're doing what they can to make these challenges in crucial times. There's another one there.
Payne saunters through the middle, chips it over the top, but just too far ahead of Whitwa. So they're able to gather it up. We've got a bit under 20 minutes to find 2 goals here at the Strikers. South Hobart look to add another trophy to their cabinet. Didn't win the Summer Cup last year. We were upset by the Clarence Zebras in the Summer Cup final, if memory serves. Of course, once it got onto the Super League season, there was absolutely no stopping them.
It's really interesting to me, sort of, as like thinking about the history of the WSL. This might get into some nerdy areas here, but
let's do it.
South Hobart sort of hadn't really had a lot of success in the women's divisions for a long time, and sort of, I don't want to say came out of nowhere that they've just started to become this juggernaut, because they've had quality players. How do you actually get there? No, it does go out of bounds. And you think of the likes of Zebras of the past, and even going back to Southern Championship days of university, and a long time the Northern teams, really, Lonnie United, Ulverston, have been powerhouses.
Yeah, certainly.
So I think all South Hobart supporters, have such success in the men's program, will be extremely excited to see this development come on from the women's side.
There's Maddie Payne, charges through the middle here, but Roberts bustling back. Still going though, Payne did well, eventually cleared. Yeah, I think it was the first women's trophy they've won in their 100-year history or so last year, South Hobart. It had been a bit of a build, as Roberts is unfortunately down again. Hopefully nothing serious here for Lucy Roberts, who's been in the wars today for the midfielder. But it was a young group that kind of built, slowly improved, and then last year was the year where they really, it all came together.
Yeah. And I think that bodes well for those teams like Knights, for example, who might be thinking, it might be a little bit challenging for a while, but it is possible. It looks like,
this is a concern. Stretcher being called for, you never like to see this.
No, and as much as you need those minutes in the legs in pre-season and you want to win the Summer Cup, it's an important competition. If this is more than a few games, or just I guess fearing for the health of Roberts at the moment as they call for a stretcher, so hopefully she
awful moment here potentially.
Drop that thought, as it's just player safety at the moment. Don't worry about the season.
You don't want to see anyone get injured, obviously. And a star player like Roberts too, really. This is a worrying side. Let's hope it's nothing long term, but that's certainly a concern. We won't speculate on what it is, but fingers crossed for her, really.
I didn't really see the incident there. I thought I hope it's one of those ones where non-contact ones can be almost worse in some ways, and hopefully she's okay. It looks like the capable medical staff are just looking after her now.
Absolute star of the league, Lucy Roberts. Scored that wonderful goal in the first half, a free kick from 30 yards out. And
you won't see much better than that top end.
It'd be an absolute tragedy if this was her season done in the Summer Cup final. So really, fingers crossed for her.
Yeah. Absolutely hate to.
This is not what anyone wants to see. So our thoughts go there to Lucy Roberts, and hopefully she's going to be okay. But being stretched off here in the cup final, that's a cruel blow. About 15 minutes away from completing pre-season, getting into the regular season. And her day will end being stretched off, so fingers crossed for her. Essentially, enormous bloke there. Not something anyone ever wants to see. So now they've got to pick themselves back up and close this game out, Luca. They've got, I suppose, a tough one there, seeing a teammate in considerable pain like that. Now you've got a job to do. You've got to get on with the game. Tough mentally, I reckon, for the players, this.
Most certainly. Seeing the incident in question, like it did look quite physically, it was quite the challenge. It's quite difficult to utter up words for it, but again, our hopes for Lucy Roberts for a swift recovery. Hope it's nothing too serious, and hope she can go and have a good season that doesn't end here in the Summer Cup final.
Yeah, certainly fearing for the worst, but the game must go on and play resumes here with about a quarter of an hour to go. South Hobart, 2 goals to the good, and just looking to see this one out. The Strikers can they find a goal just to spark them late. They'll be much better in the second half as Choi looks it forward, back, and the referee spots a handball.
Handball there will be Devonport to take it from the back. South Hobart, as you're saying, 2 goals good. Devonport have just been probing for the past 15 minutes trying to find that break. They've been close on a few occasions, but they haven't quite been able to hit the back of the net. Ball driven in low, looking to go to that left-hand side. No, South Hobart on the ball swiftly.
Clear away. Can't imagine there'll be too many risks taken at this point for South. Safety first should be the order of the day. Just try and see this one out with a 2-goal lead. And we'll release the first trophy on offer for the season. The Strikers will keep pushing. They might as well throw a few bodies forward, risk conceding a third to pull their way back into it.
Throwing comes into a bit of space. Speed there on South Hobart. The danger. Beautiful there. Fantastic work from Mitchell coming out of goal. Almost in the same style that Farrow we've seen from her this game. Almost taking a leap out of the opponent's book in a manner.
Yeah, most keepers looking comfortable playing off their line here. Big part of modern goalkeeping, really, isn't it? The ability to play with your feet outside the box as well as the shot stopping. Very much in vogue, especially for teams like these who want to play out from the back. As Choi sends this one wide, and a chance for Browning to whip a ball in. She's got 3 in the middle. It's great delivery. Pichon Choi. Well, let's sit for her. It wouldn't quite. Still bustling away. Wins it back. It's Pichon Choi onto the woodwork. And that would have sealed it. But it glances over the top and remains 2-0.
Fantastic bit of pressure there from Hobart. Pichon Choi coming down coming in the wide areas, using a bit of space. Absolutely fantastic play there from South Hobart. Unlucky not to score, but just keeping this pressure on. Which should be the order of the day. Nothing silly. Maybe a 3rd goal could seal the deal here. Shut the door for Devonport. And they go through the middle.
Choi and Byers combining in midfield. It's a nice ball, and they're building well again here as Browning. Some room on the right. Got Hobart in support. Goes back to Browning, who calls for the bodies in the middle. Goes looking for Ollington. Just over her and Mutsatsos's head, though. Behind for a goal kick.
Goal kick now. Browning out in the wide positions, looking to cross it in. Has done so twice. Hasn't been able to find anyone yet. But South Hobart is keeping this pressure on. As Devonport look to advance down the right-hand side.
Yellow.
Ruby back to her there, involved in that piece of defending. A little bit physical there. So it'll be a South Hobart throw-in. And they look to play behind.
And switch it across. Off the back through Clifford, who picked it up there. Choi now on to Browning. Byers rather, and now Hobart down the right, but earnestly defended once again. Gemma Matthews getting across, sliding in. It's at the wrong end of the park as far as the Strikers are concerned.
Throwing comes as Browning again. In the past 5 minutes we've seen quite a bit of Browning, particularly on the far side of the pitch, putting those crosses in, moving forward into the open spaces. But as you say, Andrew, it's in the wrong spot for Devonport. They want to get it right up there. Maybe get a goal back. Just something to rally behind. Give them something. Give them a bit of motivation for the coming minutes.
Hannah Johnson whips that one out of play. Strikers will push up the pitch here. They've got too long left if they're going to make a late show of it. So Hobart with one hand on the Summer Cup as it stands. And they'll get the throw in here too. And run a little more clock.
Throw in comes. Touch taken, looking to lift it over. South Hobart punts that ball forward. They have options moving forward now, looking to try and find Devonport now. Moving from the back, trying to break forward, push on Choi there with clearance. Devonport have been better in this second half, most certainly, but this is just not going their way at the moment. Need to get up in their third and potentially put Farrow under a bit of pressure.
They haven't got too long left to conjure something, the Strikers. Definitely feel they've missed Jasmine White out there today, their talisman striker of the past couple of years. Here's Pishon Choi. It turned into space, but it was nicely won back by Abby White. As Payne tried to bustle through, but keep a hold of it with Satsos. Now Byers to Choi. I think about the shot from range. Passes off to Browning instead. A couple in the middle with Satsos is there, but Michaela Mitchell clean swallows that up.
Mitchell there, absolutely fantastic. Going to ground early. Safe set of hands, lies over the top of the ball. Good bit of goalkeeping there. Browning again in the wide positions as we see Ruby Batchelor making advances down the close side of the pitch. Now with a bit of time to use, we go inside. South Hobart looking to turn. The tempo's just picked up a little bit now in these past 5 minutes. South Hobart looking to continue to hold the pressure on. Devonport looking to get something up in their third.
Free kick line. They got anything in the legs here late. There's some lagging bodies out there now. It's been oppressing conditions. In 30s temperatures here for this Summer Cup final. This players still building fitness ahead of the new season. And they're still pushing hard though. Can they find something? Whit was lurking in the middle here. They'll not be able to get a corner though. Just a goal kick. And time starting to become a real enemy. Just a few minutes remaining.
Not long left in this Women's Summer Cup final. Devonport managed to get something back. I wonder if it'll be just a consolation goal. Because at the moment, South Hobart are looking to be in control of this match so far. Quite even through the midfield though, but a bit more clinical going forward.
So this one punched in. Whitwer gets on the end of it. It's a better of a mark there in Johnson, but in the end Johnson able to win out. Sees it away. The Strikers pressing here to try and halve South's lead. Maddie Payne presenting up at this one. That's where she heads, but Choi just got in ahead of her. Pishon Choi, still a willing runner, has not a lot ahead of her though. Plenty of Devonport shirts, so she's just going to have to hold up, wait for some support. Did so expertly. Got the Byers. Shifts it over the top. They got numbers everywhere here. Browning, she's got Mutsatsos in the middle. It's a 2-on-1. Still going Browning. Back to Mutsatsos. Good save by Michaela Mitchell. Kept it out. They were short-staffed at the back, but somehow they survive. Well done, Michaela Mitchell. Well, you think maybe Mutsatsos should have buried that one. Danger still present though. No, that one offside against Browning. That was nearly curtains, Luca.
Most certainly nearly curtains there. Good effort there from South Hobart going forward, again pressing in the wide areas, but Mitchell again coming out a good save. You'd think South Hobart should be putting those chances away right in front of goal, but anything can happen here in the final moments of this match. As Pishon Shaw heads it away, out to the wide position, looking for Browning. Devonport now. Mitchell is coming out, acting as another centre back, playing a bit of a higher line. As Batchelor comes in for a challenge.
As Byers playing at the 1-2. Going to be all the more important this year. If Lucy Roberts has to miss time, Gracie Byers. As this one slid through. Whitwer on the end of it. Here's an opportunity, but scrambling back in coverage was Hannah Johnson. And she saves the day with a timely intervention. As this one's played to Byers. And that one will roll out of play, but Hannah Johnson, I said, this is a bit of an audition for starting spots with Variety Cooling certainly leaving the South Hobart defence. Hannah Johnson has done her chances of being the regular starter no harm today. She's been fantastic back there. Bidwell jumping up into the attack here is Annalee Bidwell. She get in behind. She does. Swings across the back post and volleyed over the top from Matthews. Just couldn't quite keep her effort down. It was a teasing ball from Bidwell and almost off at a lifeline. But it's just over the top, and that might be one they needed to take, you feel.
Most certainly. Given how there's very little time left in the game, you'd expect them to take those chances. Bidwell did remarkably well cutting through this right-hand side, getting the cross away, but just a bit of an unlucky deflection there on the volley. South Hobart now the opportunity to go forward again. It'll just be about them, well, keeping possession of the ball, using their time wisely, as there's very little time, as the offside call there.
She's about 10 yards offside there, Nikki, with Santos. Fight for the South Hobart attackers and straight a mile off. 7 additional minutes, well, that's going to give some heart to Devonport if they can find something.
Certainly 7 minutes will not go Australia, but again, Devonport, time is against them. South Hobart just continue to push, continue to drive the ball up into their final third. It must be frustrating for Devonport, just trying to find something to cling on to.
Yeah, new season, same porous defence really for South Hobart. Impregnable for most of last season, and they have been rock solid here again today. I think as they played Devonport early in the season, had a 3-3 draw. After that, barely conceded again in the next 3 months. As Ritsatos is shut down. Impressed by Batchelor too. In these wide areas.
Batchelor, since coming on, has controlled this right-hand side, doing very, very well, particularly there when Bidwell was driving forward. Did a lot of work continuing to pile the pressure on. Devonport now going to play out from the back to try and keep a bit of security. As they now look to play through the midfield. They have numbers forward. They just say that rock-solid South Hobart defence, ready and waiting for the challenge.
Mia Smith, back to Bidwell. There's not a heap of movement off the ball here from the strikers. They're looking pretty tired. They need 2 goals here in stoppage time. It's tough to see it. This one's just dealt with again by Johnson. Just whacks it clear. So we tick towards the conclusion here. Stifling hot day down at the den. Players in the Summer Cup in the pre-season stage, even with the interchange, you can certainly forgive them for lagging a bit towards the end of this one. They will probably not get tougher conditions than this all year, I don't reckon. Byers, lovely ball in with Satsos. Bidwell racing back, still working hard, working tirelessly. Annalee Bidwell, she's an absolute star. And covers the situation there. Mitchell straight to fish on Choi though. Choi across for Hobart. Hobart, the couple in the middle to pick out. Hollington making a charging run, tries to sneak it near post, and that's shut down by Mitchell. Gets across and keeps it out.
Mitchell there covering the near post. South Hobart been going forward a lot in this last 10 minutes. Mitchell's done very, very well in keeping the goals out and keeping the back of the net secure. Devonport though just trying to probe for something, though time is against them here, and I reckon give a couple more seconds, curtains will be on this match. South Hobart playing remarkably well. That rock solid defence, a creative midfield, and a clinical forward line.
Teasing ball sent in. Everyone just got and watched it. In the end, Choi got there. It's across to Johnson. What's going on the right? Squared it up looking for Hobart. She'll retreat. And back to Byers. Just not quite on the same page as Choi there. Devonport able to recover the situation. No real movement ahead of the ball here though, so just going to have to do it all herself, Mia Smith, and Shui lunges in. The South Hobart bench certainly felt she got enough of the ball. The referee disagreeing. Blows a free kick. Will allow the defence to get back and get set.
Fish on Shui there with a very strong challenge against Mia Smith. South Hobart's bench thought she got enough of the ball, as you were saying, mate, but the ref disagrees. So it'll be Smith. Play the short pass. Alright, Devonport to swing one in here. Maybe their final attack of the game. Can they get something of it? Can they make something of it? George King to take. They certainly have options forward.
Comfortably collected by Jenna Farrow. Let's get the body in the way. Farrow plucks that one out. I'm not sure how much we're going to see of Jenna Farrow this season. I'm surprised to see her here today, but certainly they'll be glad to have had her out there this afternoon. Farrow been solid as a rock as per usual. Mutsatsos. Mitchell slides out. Referee with a decision to make here. And he's blown it in favour of South, and a slice of cheese to Mitchell to boot. And it did seem a little late, that challenge. And South will have the opportunity to extend the lead to 3-0 here with what might well be just about the final kick of the game.
Final kick of the game coming. Very strong challenge from Mitchell, coming out of the box, almost taking a leaf out of the book of Jenna Farrow. But, as you say, final kick of the game, most likely in the next couple of seconds. It's been a good final. South Hobart, the better side today, though. In the second half, Devonport have pressured and they have gone up in their final third. But again, South Hobart, one of the powerhouses in the WSL, looking to stamp their dominance and light a bit of a catalyst for the season ahead.
Yeah, a nice little boost ahead of the Super League campaign, their title defence. As we'll see what Browning's got over the dead ball here. It's only a Browning! And it's straight in the hands of Michaela Mitchell, who plucks it out nicely and keeps it out 2-0 and launches it. Sends it along in the direction of Matthews. Just going to carry a bit too far for her though, and right. Should be able to see it at a touch. A look at the watch from the referee. Can't be long left. The Strikers pushing for a late goal. Again, shut down.
Not long to go now. Devonport throw in. Takes a touch. Looks to play across the back. They have Smith wide. Out on her own, but fish on Choi. Looks to cut through them. Looks to take them on in the dying seconds of the game. Loses a little bit of control there. But options forward. Why can South Hobart conjure here?
It starts off in acres of space. Surprised they didn't play it into the space there for her. It doesn't matter though. The game is over and South Hobart pick up where they left off last year. Well, I suppose technically they did lose the last game they played to Devonport last season in the finals, not finals match, but they were a trophy-winning machine last year, South. They begin this year with silverware. 2-0 over the Devonport Strikers. A comfortable performance from them in the end. A stunning free kick from Lucy Roberts. Although it may well prove a Pyrrhic victory, we hope not. Roberts stretch it off in the second half. A big talking point there.
Stop there. It certainly has been a captivating match so far. Seen a lot of drama. Again, Lucy Roberts hopes she makes a swift recovery. Very, very shortly we will see the NPL Summer Cup final. We'll have the blokes on very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere. It'll be Luca Forrest, Andrew Cooling, and along with Alex to take you through that match. So stick around and we'll be with you shortly. That has been the Women's Summer Cup final.
We'll have to hang on to this the whole time, so we will just stick behind in their hands.
I've had that job many a time. So, media women's dodge that one. That's normally there. It's not to do with that. You stop that all the time. Hold up the media one. You've outsourced it nicely then.
Looking for a heavy weight. I said, yeah, I'm in.
We're going to follow poly press conferences and stuff like that.
They just need to put a belt with a couple of carabiners and just click me on and like just there.
Hey. Sorry, mate. You have to catch this down your catch. It'll be alright. Get somebody else. Yeah, just talk to them. They didn't say order.
Congratulations. You another trophy? You sell that away. Right, camera is up here.
Yeah, I didn't think. Do I send this?
I need to be out of this shot. So hang on. Do we need the lapel mic or is that one going to be okay?
This should be okay. It's just
We need that.
You are zooming right in, aren't you?
I hope so.
Like so.
Yeah, I reckon use the
Right, you don't have to speak. Just hold it. Reasonably close.
right there.
Good. Sophie, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Great way to start the season.
Such a great way to start the season. Yeah. I think it's very reflective of how we've been tracking at training, so it's awesome to get the win today.
This must be becoming a bit of a familiar feeling for you, winning trophies with South Hobart.
Bit of a habit we're forming, I think, yeah. No, it's really good though, well deserved.
What did you make of your team's performance out there today?
Just relentless and ruthless. Like, you can see that everyone put in 100% effort. Like, we were not a fit squad at all. So to be able to overcome all of that adversity that we went through and still come out on top is just testament to the character of our team, I think.
Conditions, how were they out there? Seemed like that might be pretty tough.
Hot. I think it's always hard to play when it's that hot, and like against a real physically competitive team like Devonport makes it even that much harder. But no, we did really well. Yeah.
Does that give you perhaps a psychological edge over a title rival heading into the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good sign of what's to come, and just the confidence that we need to continue on our momentum that we started.
Lovely, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
She said.
I've been told I had to get captain and go.
Fair enough. Put the hat right in the right way.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Just
thank
going
you.
to grab a hold of that one.
Okay.
All right, Alistair, congratulations on the Summer
you.
Cup. What did
Thank
you
you.
make of your team's performance out
Oh,
there tonight?
so proud because that's brutal out there today. Look, I first of all want to say congratulations to both teams because the amount of effort and they still were going pretty hard at the end. So congratulations to both teams. My team, I'm just so proud of the effort that they put in. They've learnt how to be winners and they don't accept anything else, and that's a really good sign for us going forward in the rest of the season. So we had a lot of adversity coming in, quite a few injuries and stuff, picked up some more, but we find the way to get the job done, and I couldn't be prouder. Fantastic.
It seemed like with the rotation, it's given plenty of players the opportunity to stake their claim for a starting spot ahead of the season.
Yeah.
Are you going to have a tough decision to
Yes.
make ahead?
I hate it. I hate that, but I'd much rather that than not have enough players and not know who I'm going to pick. So, everyone's sticking their hand up. Everyone wants to play. And, we have lots of knocks on my door and saying, I want to start, which is great. That's what I want.
What was the most pleasing aspect of the result today?
Just the fact that we never stopped. We know what we're doing, and actually, I think game management in the second half, when we're hot, when we're tired, we played it really smart as well. We, again, I just say we found a way to win, and that's what's really important. So very happy.
Lovely, thank you, Alistair.
Okay, thanks, mate. Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, thank you.
You put you up, man, mate.
Yeah, I don't mean anything.
Technical start. I'll give you the whole that one, Rocky.
Thank you. You call me assistant coach today.
Assistant coach. Legend of the Fortress and all. Very proud of that. All right, Rocky, obviously a disappointing result, but what did you make of the girls' efforts out there tonight?
Look, it was, first of all, congratulations to South Hobart. A really thoroughly deserved result in really tough conditions. Our girls